Yes? As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me. And becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago. Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him. It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry. I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me. Or maybe he just happens to be a good man. What about? I wish I could tell. You want to ask me about something else? The one tomorrow. I'll tell you. It's Tairn Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king. Kaelin just wants his place in history. The Tairn is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot. You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them. We're at the edge of the Korcari Wilds, the eye of the Blight Storm, right where the Horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is an excellent...
Then you're not at the eye, you're at the position where the eye will be moving to.
Time and again in ancient days.
There's underground passages in this area. And that's where all the Darkspawn are especially surging up in.
Would be bad. You want to ask me about something
So
else?
for example, the humans of Orlais,
Of course.
they don't really have to deal with this. Do they have more Darkspawn than usual? Yeah, but it's the epicenter's right here. Orlais, they might have to kill some more Darkspawn, but they don't have to deal with the horde of it. And then the dwarves are always fighting the Darkspawn, because the dwarves share their tunnels with the Darkspawn.
Seriously?
Yep, it's a daily threat that they have to fight the Darkspawn and keep the tunnels clean.
Yeah, I just found out that they're born from an old god who was buried under the ground.
They were cast out by the Maker. They fled underground, bringing their taint.
These
to
are
their
Chantry
gods.
stories, by the way.
Tainted old gods were the archdemons who rose from
Not
their
necessarily
prisons
true,
and led the
not necessarily
Darkspawn
false,
against the
no way
world.
to prove it, no way to disprove it. It's just what people know.
Yes, and it nearly wiped us out. When defeated, the Darkspawn flee back underground and seek out another old god to taint, thus bringing another blight. But seriously, the Archdemon could be in the wilds or underground. It could be hiding. They've controlled the deep roads ever since they defeated the Dwarven kingdoms. The old gods were dragons.
Okay.
So the story. The Tevinter Empire had big statues of them.
Okay.
The Archdemons may not be the old gods, but they're definitely dragons. The Grey Wardens killed so many
Dragon
Darkspawn by the
Age.
end of
You'll be surprised in Dragon Age just how few dragons there are
Yeah, like...
across all the games.
We chop off the snake's head. It's the only way.
The most
According to
dragons
text,
I've seen in all of Dragon Age is in Inquisition. Towards the very end, one of the areas you go through is actually a dragon area.
Feel the Darkspawn
Yeah,
when they
I always wondered
Not to
about the
mention
game, like,
people's
why is it called
lots of
Dragon
notice
Age when
when
there's
Darkspawn
barely
fall
any
out of
actual
wild.
dragons in any of them?
Thousands.
Like, all the
Tens of
trailers,
thousands.
there's never one shot of a
You
dragon.
want to ask me about something else? So I imagine. What would you like to... The Grey Wardens are warriors without equal.
Dragons are
Nobody knows more
the
about
strongest,
Darkspawn.
toughest enemies in the game,
I don't...
which is
that
probably
means-
the
As they
reason for
are
the name.
supposed to be in D&D.
Well, let's see. Surely you've heard
But,
of
like,
White
people,
Tortoise.
whenever
The Great
they
Dairy
use dragons
carved
in
into
their
White Cliffs.
campaigns, they
The
always
Griffins died out, however,
find
and
some
our
way
numbers
of making
dwindled
it
since
so
the
that way
last
your
fight.
party can take one
There's
down.
no
In reality, a dragon will just fly
more another nation.
and burninate you. And you
The
have
others are
no way of
camped with
countering it,
soldiers.
and then you die. End of
Kaelin
campaign.
is actually excited to ride into
No.
battle.
Oh, he's in a cave and he's locked up
King
and he's
Marek,
tired and
Kaelin's father. In practice,
he's
we
low
can't
level
conscript
one.
too often without hurting up.
No
You want to
fucker.
ask me about something else? Duncan is the leader of the... Beyond that, what about you? What do you think of him? That sounds... He's done the best he can with what... You want to ask me about something else? Of course. You want to ask me about something else? Then let's get a move.
What?
Look at the way you're running.
Wait, you don't run like this?
Even if you're running straight, it does it.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You're completely glitched.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
I apologize, Duncan. I'll go collect who we're missing. This is Sir Jory, a knight from Redcliffe.
How'd you do?
And this, of course, is the recruit that Duncan said he was bringing.
And you're still in a weird, like, half-crouched position.
Now then.
I think the game thinks I'm in combat because I healed... yeah, I did the rock
into the
armor a
Kokari
minute ago.
to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of darkspawn blood. 1 for each recruit. You weren't recruited out of charity. All 3 are order and will accompany you as is tradition.
Okay.
Do not worry. I doubt you will need to go far.
I'm surprised you're not hitting
to find
more
what you
buttons
seek.
with how much of your hand is over the keyboard like that. Because I hover mine over. You
Well, the
rest
joining
yours
itself.
on.
I'll explain more once. Of course. You must work together to collect the components, however. It's as much a part of the joining as what comes after. There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we... It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can. Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind
Yeah, these people don't work anymore, so these aren't valid.
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in...
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true. No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task. It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alice, watch over your charges, Alice.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path.
Hey, you got a full party. And you are the only mage.
Well, I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out.
No. And then crash. I can obviously walk here.
You can give them all flaming weapons.
I'm just trying to do it. Okay, there it goes. Forget I can't move what I'm doing.
Yeah, the mage, the caster combat is a lot more fluid come like Inquisition especially. Because it goes from being strategy to action. You're expected to run around and do shit. In this, even if you are moving, it's not going to make the enemy miss you. You can't just run and then dodge something. This is all stat-based.
He's dead.
Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, He's not half.
How do you recognize a Grey Warden by
My
sight?
scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please
Because,
help me.
like, how did he
I've got to
immediately know that they were
return to
Grey
camp.
Wardens? For one, 3 of us are just recruits. He's the only actual Grey Warden.
I have
Might just be the armor. Might just be the armor. Not yours, but
Oh,
his.
I've got to get out of here.
Might be the fact that you were actually in the woods, and who the fuck else is crazy enough
Did
to
you
be
hear?
in the
An
woods?
entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the 4 of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back. I am simply trying to stay alive. You do not see me fleeing, do you?
A bit of fear isn't unnatural, you know. Few relish meeting Darkspawn up close. I know I don't. Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn, whatever their cut.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but
That is...
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy.
I gotta keep an eye out for some fucking dead tree with a white flower with a red spot in it. Like that!
Usually you just do it all once you come back.
Oh. I was making the assumption that if you don't do things immediately when you're supposed to, it goes away.
Stable for now, but not improving. Unless I get that herb I told you about, there's not much hope. Let me see. Yeah, that's exactly it. Wonderful. Yeah, give me a moment and I'll make this into an ointment.
You get like a final
He looks
opportunity
better
to
already.
do stuff before the day
Himself.
changes, and, or like you go into the battle.
A day, maybe 2. Why not come back after the battle? Perhaps we can see about imprinting him. Maybe. It's likely he understands you're responsible for curing him. Come back after the...
So the dogs imprint on people?
If not for this invasion, then to actually do your joining, you would have to go like into the deep roads where the dwarves and the Darkspawn live to find your Darkspawn to kill there.
Jeez.
In order to acquire the blood that you need for the ritual. They're dead.
No, they're just hanging around.
They've been hanged.
Hung?
No.
Look
Hanged.
there. Poor slobs.
An item is hung. A person is hanged.
Blast!
I lie down.
You do lie down.
Not lay. Oh, I guess
No.
lay something.
You lay
An
an object. You can lay a person down.
So I laid.
But you lie down. What did you do? I lie down.
Lay down.
Where were you? I was lying there.
Lying about what?
Where was he? He was lying on the floor. Where did the object go? He lay it over there.
Lay. Do Darkspawn speak?
In a way. You'll never understand one, if that's what you're asking.
Do they communicate with each other at least?
So they work more like a hive mind in a way,
Yeah.
with an archdemon being their
Central synapse.
mind essentially. Without an archdemon, they're pretty brainless. They can't organize or really communicate for much worth anything.
Which is why a blight requires the presence of...
I feel like you've skipped past a lot of the corpse loot. Yeah, good for seeing any loot you missed. Because you were just skipping right past these. I was surprised. It makes me wonder if you got all the stuff from your previous fight too.
Don't give them the advantage. It shall be done.
Jory's about to die.
Yeah, I'm out of... Well, I guess...
Jory! If you don't pick a mage, you literally don't have heals during this anyway. Closest thing is just potions.
It has begun.
It has begun.
What has begun?
It has begun.
But what has begun?
It has begun.
But what has begun?
It has begun.
It is open.
The way is open.
Hidden cache.
Very well.
You've rummaged through a rubble, find a Rigby's secret cache. Inside is an iron lockbox with a seal of wax. That's bullshit, you can shoot through rocks. Sneaky, sneaky. It's nice having a party.
It's nicer when you have a balanced party, but I guess you are the healer. I don't like being the healer. But you can always have two mages. You could be the Deeps mage, get a healer mage.
What's that?
Leveled up.
Yeah.
Hey man, if you want to waste your points. The fact that you just did that to your points just... it's triggering.
Have you played through every single one of the Dragon Age games?
Not their DLCs. Because I played most of these on launch.
Gotcha. Have you been playing this since the beginning of the series? Because I know this game's released out of order. Like, this came after 2, I believe.
No.
No?
This is the first one.
Is it really the first one?
This is the first one.
I thought one of the games was, like, out of chronological order.
No.
Alright then.
This is in chronological order.
Okay.
Sort. Yeah. So, 2 takes place at the same time as this. I think it eventually goes beyond the end of it, but at the start of Dragon Age 2 is also the start of this game. It takes place at the same time. It just goes further into time. And then Inquisition's after that's all said and done. Because Dragon Age 1, you play as a Grey Warden, and you fight the Darkspawn. Dragon Age 2, you play as someone fleeing the Darkspawn. Dragon Age 3, fuck the Darkspawn, we're moving on. Inquisition! You play as an Inquisitor.
Are you sure this isn't 40k? Do any of the protagonists ever meet?
Yes. In Inquisition, you meet Hawk.
Which is the protagonist of
2.
Okay.
You never meet the Grey Warden ever again. Because they didn't know what to do with the silent protagonist. They didn't want to add a voice to him and risk pissing people off.
Kill him, I guess?
Because the Grey Warden's a self-insert. Hawk is Hawk. Mm-hmm. And the Inquisitor, while being more of a self-insert, is still the Inquisitor. Still has a voice acting. But it's not as predefined of a personality as Hawk was. The Grey Warden's just a blank slate. I've always wanted to be able to meet my Grey Warden, but they never made that a thing.
My Warden?
You can hear stories told of him, though.
Now we do battle. Watch out.
The way they put Hawk into Inquisition, though, is upsetting.
What?
It's just... He just kind of gets shoved in and doesn't really belong. He's already on like an equal playing field with you, and in the same quest, like the quest where he comes in, I forget, may be the only quest he's in. Like, he's just inserted for the hell of it for one quest for no real good reason. Like that quest would have gone just as well without him.
Alright, just...
Blast. Don't give them the...
Holy shit. And dead.
Yeah.
So what happens now?
When combat finishes, you come back. There are ways to pick up characters, but you don't really have those. Potion?
How have equipped? Can I equip them mid-fight?
Potion! You don't even need to equip it, because that's not an equipped bar, that's a hot bar. This is just a shortcut to get to your inventory. So you clicked a skill and then you clicked to attack. Was that intentional?
No.
Because when you right-click on an enemy, which is what I assume you did.
No, I left-clicked.
You left-click?
Yep.
Well, the left-click is attack then. If you're already locked onto an enemy, then you're locked onto an enemy. Then you will use your skill, but if you hit the button to attack again, that cancels out the skill. I've actually seen you do that since the start of the game. It's just now I finally realized what you are doing. I never realized why you were doing that. I was like, oh, I guess he just didn't want to use that.
I'm alive.
Yay. You have an injury.
Ah, how do you fix that?
I think there's like a...
Cracked skull. Use an injury kit or visit the party camp. I
You don't have a party camp
Yeah.
yet, and you don't have injury kits yet. I've never died this early in the game. I'm actually kind of surprised you did. I'm just saying.
No, it's just when I do that, it's because I click on the spell, then realize I haven't actually targeted anyone, so I click on them, and then I figure it should do, and then nope, it just resumes the auto attack.
I mean, you clicked on him. He was already attacking the dude, so you know he was already on that enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can't go through there.
It was weird as earlier I did see us shooting through terrain and the enemies also shooting through terrain.
It might happen in some locations, but where there's a full unblockable barrier, probably not as much. Potion. Did you notice?
No, I did.
I was gonna say, because you let that get very low.
Found the overgrown ruins. The chest is broken. He said he couldn't do that. Oh, hello. You look familiar.
Well.
You look
What
like you're
have
from
we here?
trailers.
Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey?
Nice tits.
What say you, Scavenger or intruder? 'Tis a tower no longer. The wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is
I don't know all the words.
She's a witch of the
Swooping is
wild,
bad.
she is. She'll
Yes.
turn us into toads.
That's his most
Witch
popular
of the
quote.
wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own?
Does he say it
You
often?
there.
No, this is the only time he ever says it.
In the
Your
actual
name, I
fuck.
tell you mine.
But it's his most popular
It is
line.
civilized. And you may call me Morrigan, if you wish. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
here no longer. You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened. 'Twas my mother, in fact. Yes, my mother. Did you assume I spawned from a log?
A thieving, weird-talking log, perhaps?
Not all in the wilds are monsters. Flowers grow as well as toads. If you wish, I will take you to my mother. 'Tis not far from here, and you may ask her for your papers if you like.
We should get those treaties, but I dislike this Morrigan's sudden appearance. It's too convenient.
Why not? I do not meet many people here. Are you all so mistrustful? She prefers her privacy, but I imagine she will be curious enough why you were here. Come, see for yourself.
What a trap.
As you wish, and I shall watch.